Hey guys, welcome back to my another video of our tutorial. In this video I'm going to discuss about nested loop. Nested loop means that a loop within a loop, or we can also say that the inner loop within the body of another outer loop. Here is the structure of nested loop. I used an example of for loop in which one for loop is the outer loop and the other one is the inner for loop. And in next slide you can easily understand why these kind of nested loops are used in programming. Let's see next slide. The loops are basically a fine example of a clock. Clock, as we know that every house has a clock, and we always check the time within a clock. Assume a normal clock, and normal clock has three type of hands: hour hand, minute hand, and second one. I take an example for only two arms of that clock. The first one is hour hand and second one is minute hand. And or both these hands spin around the face of the clock 24/7. And the hour hand is like just like an outer loop and minute hand just like an inner loop. Just assume this kind of thing when the minute hand completes its one revolution of 60 minutes, then the outer or the hour hand change its position from any hour from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, whatever the time it is. Now you can see the example in the bottom of the slide that hour hand I used the hour variable for the outer loop and minute variable for the inner loop. When the hour variable has a value 1 and condition is obviously 0 is less than 12, then we can enter the inner loop of the body, inner loop, where minute hand start from 0 to 59. When it complete its cycle, then the hour hand variable or hour variable may increment its value from 0 to 1, and again inner loop move its revolution or iteration from 0 to 59, and again came to the outer loop where our variable value get incremented, and so on. So this is a simple example we can assume. Further, we can use the nested loop for pattern programs where we have to print number of pattern from 1 1 to 1 2 and pyramid shape, triangular shape, or square, rectangle. There are number of patterns program available. And we can also use nested for loop in case of 2D arrays. If we use a simple for loop or any loop for 1D array, we can use 2D array with nested for loop. And it's just like a grid or table format structure where we can play with some values or position of that particular array. So this is the simple introduction for nested loop. Now I'm going to show some demonstration of for loop. Let's see. Okay, here we have Eclipse ID. Let me make a class and right click on my package, selecting on new, and after that class. Okay, class name is demo nested loop, selecting on the main method and finish. Okay, here is my class and main method. I do not need this comment statement. Now I'm going to make a structure for it. For int outer loop variable, which is initialized by 1, and its condition outer, which is less than is equal to 3, again semicolon is required, outer, which is increment. Okay, now this is simple loop which is used for, we can use for array or anything, to some repetition of iterations. Now within this loop, now I'm going to make another loop, its body. Okay, Now again int inner is equal to 1, inner is less than is equal to 3, and inner increment. Now this is my loop, nested loop, and there it is, system out print. I just move simple. Let's see what is our output. Okay, now condition is approximately to 3 then, but we have 3, 6 and 9 outputs over here because 3 into 3 just like. Now let's see with simple rule. For that, make outer demonstration here plus, it's for just checking the values when and what time we have some values of these variable, and tab inner plus inner. Now let's see. Okay, now you can see here that let me make a little bit clear output of it. This thing just printing simple clean system out println. Again execute this code from here. Okay, now you can see that when the outer variable or the loop control variable of outer loop, that is outer is 1, then inner value is again 1. Here if I just hide this thing so we can see the proper code over here. Okay, now when the outer loop variable value is 1, in each and every case the inner loop iterate 3 times. After that, when the condition of inner loop is false, then it move out from its loop body and again move to the outer for loop, and where the value of the outer variable which was 1 is incremented by new value or by 1, that become 2, and again the inner loop move 3 iterations. After that, when condition is false, then it again came back to the outer loop where the outer variable value is incremented by 1 and the new value will become 3, and again the inner loop do its 3 time iterations. That was the simple steady rule for nested for loop. We can assume the clock for that when there is a 1 o'clock, the minute hand again revolve on that particular from 60 minutes, and again the hour hand change its position from 1 to 2. That is the simple format of nested for loop. Now I'm going to show you the same nested for loop for some pattern programs. So let me make this thing comment, and again making a for loop. For this I'm taking some other variable like I, that is the standard variable for making a loop in each and every video or class. Then i's condition is less than is equal to. Okay, one more thing I want to discuss, that there is some situation where we start from 0 and there is some situation we start from 1. When we are working with arrays, then always begin our loop control variable from 0 because array start from 0 index. That we'll discuss in coming videos, next videos. And now in this case I can start with 1. If there is a 1, then there should be less than equal to sign. If there is 0, then we have to put only less than sign. So let's see with what happened with when we start our loop control variable from 0. Okay, this is simple, and let me copy this thing from here so it will save a little time for. Okay, now change this value of I from j J, and again J. Okay, now what we have to print, uh, if I want to print simple star or asterisk sign, okay, I do not need system out println over here. If I do, then let's see what happened. ln is for new line, so if I remove ln from here, then let's see what happened with our output. Horizontal and vertical situation occurred, and I need system out print from here to save it, execute. Okay, now this is a great pattern. Now I want to change some condition from here. Now there is again 5 rows and 5 columns, and outer loop is work for generating rows, and inner loop work for generating column for particular row. And if I change that 5 value from here to I, the outer loop variable value, then we have some pyramid structure, and after that, if I use equal to sign over here, then we have total 5. Okay, you can change equal to sign, it will change a little bit some kind of output for you. Now this is the pattern type of loop. If you want to print some value, then we can use, like, for example, I want to print I over here, then 1 2 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4 and 5 5 5. If I remove I from here to J, then execute it, then 0 1 1 2 2, and there are a number of logic behind using nested loop for different pattern programs. I again show the demonstration of nested loop in case of 2D array. Thank you for watching, and keep subscribe my channel. Thank you.